What's up guys, DUX here. In this YouTube video, we're going to talk about some of the questions that people ask me in the YouTube videos. And I select a couple questions that a lot of people want me to answer. So here we go. And hopefully you guys enjoy these videos and hopefully it should be helpful. All right, so first question, what do you trade? Forex, what broker do you use? So I trade Pennystock, also called microcap. And I don't really trade Forex. So what broker do you use? I use TradeZero, Centerpoint, Cobra as well. What strategy do you use when you short MBY on day 2? Now, this is a tricky question because it's not really qualified as any type of pattern. It's a multi-day runner green to red short that cracked the major momentum. I will talk about that strategy later, but this doesn't really qualify the bounce short or gap up short, so it's a multi-day runner. Now, typically, when the stock loses about 50% of its own gain in really short amount of time, the stock is considered to be lost its momentum. So on NBY, it did that, and that's why I shorted it into a bounce. Of course, not sizing too much because it didn't really bounce that far. That's the question number 2. Number 3, which is relatively very long. I don't really understand why do you sell courses and show people how to make money if you can make that huge amount of money, which is good for an individual, not a hedge fund. Why don't you keep it yourself? Now, the reason why I want to give courses because I want to condense all the infos together. And it makes other people easier to learn and increase their learning curve. Now, when I started learning, I have to gather all kinds of information and going through worthless courses. It gives me a hard time to learn. And that is my goal for all education because when I was either in high school or grade school, I found that problem pretty much all the time. So my dream or my goal is to condense infos and give it to people. That's it. That's one of my goals to pursue. And also, how people making money makes me feel great as well. Number 4, hi Steven, I understand you like shorting parabolic, but I actually took a trade on PRVB based on your pre-market breakout strategies. And yes, the trade you did not really fit the criteria, so that's not considered as a pre-market strategies because the pre-market breakout needs to be 20 to 50% consolidation in the pre-market, but it's already up 150% on PRVB, so already that doesn't really qualify as a pattern, but you did it anyways. So yes, it's overwhelming of volume. It wasn't really trading that huge amount of volume. So I would say you got lucky there, and yes, sometimes trade might work, you might get lucky because we're trading based on odds. So let's say gap up short sometimes works 8 out of 10 times and you hit that 2 times you went long, good for you because you got lucky. But in the long-term round, you shouldn't come out ahead. And make sure focus on the correct strategies and track statistics as well because you don't really put real money on the line if you don't know what's the odds of it. Track the statistics, it will help you a lot. So what trading platform you use? I use TradeZero. You can use Dash Trader Pro, you can use TradeZero platform, they all have charts. And my scanner is basically very simple, which I will talk about later. Another question, recap analysis closed market is easy unless you trade live, and why don't you make at least one video showing us how to perform in the market? Okay, so I do live trading webinar all the time. I do 3 webinars per week for my students. Every single morning, just a live trade. And I don't really have much time because I'm trading in front of my students. So that's the reason why I don't want to make a video. Is TD Ameritrade a good broker? The answer is it depends on what strategy you're trading. Because if you're going long, yes, TD Ameritrade is no problem. You can execute your shares and no problem. And if you want to pick a short strategies, then TD Ameritrade is a bad broker because you don't get shares to short and you get the opportunity but you don't get the shares. That's the reason. And depends on what strategy you're picking. So if you're basically wants to go long, then good for you. If your strategy are based on shorts, then TD Ameritrade is not your choice. People always make fun of me. So you're not very serious about waking up at 9:15 a.m. to trade. Low kids are typically gone at that time. All right, so this is the reason I get up at 9:15. So first, multi-day runners, right? if the stock performs multi-day, let's say first green day, second green day, third green day, and the fourth green day is likely to drop, I will wake up early. I wake up at 7 a.m. to reserve the shares. If I see a first green day that is gapped up and it's a super low flow, because only low flow gets gone very, very fast. And that's typically micro flow. So when the micro flow happens, I don't really want to trade on first green day. So that prevents me from over trading on the first green day and take a loss. So it's better not to have locates. And on the first green day, if there's no multi-day runner typically happens like 15 times per year. So most of the days, I wake up at 9:15 and I do webinars and I locate shares. If there's a micro flow, I don't even want to bother. Sometimes I do miss some opportunities, but not that much. Can I frown you 40K and you can take half the profits? And the answer is no. Put your effort in the market. There's all kinds of materials you can earn. Eventually you will benefit yourself. It's not gonna benefit others. Focus on yourself, don't rely on other people, and just try to improve yourself. So the answer is no, I wouldn't accept 40K and trade. Why would I trade it? I can trade 40K by myself and make all the profits. I can never find penny stocks that gain 1,000%. Where can you find these, and is there a way for them to appear? So 1,000% happens about 10 times, 20 times per year. Then if it's a multi-day, it happens about 50 times per year, and they go on over 1,000%. And the scanner I use is very simple. So listen up. So first, 20% or above in the pre-market before market open. Second, volume needs to be over 100K in the pre-market. If it's not 100K, it's not really tradable. Third, the pre-market gain, so when the trend is going up, consolidates, that's a tradable stock. And even though it's going down, it's still tradable stock. If in the pre-market it trends up and loses 50% of its gain in the pre-market, not tradable. So that's all the stuff I filtered out, then go from there. And there's all kinds of volume analysis after that, but that's basically my scanner. So that'd be the video of all. Hopefully the content is helpful. It's pretty much for all beginners. And if you wants to ask me questions, and go ahead and leave a comment below. Hit the like button. I will do more of those videos in the future. I will see you guys next video.